how you get the bell housing bolts, man.
I should have popped the hood before I did that.
I can't see shit.
I can't see fucking shit out of this thing.
Oh, yeah.
This is when the stock floor pan thing helps out.
What do you mean?
Magnetic.
Wow. True that. Wait. That's not fun. Yeah, a little more. Okay. Oh, damn. I hate this hole more than anything on the whole car.
Hi. What are you doing? Ay, ay, ay.
Maid will pick it up.
Okay.
Huh?
Okay. Uncle Bucko would say that deal needs some maintenance.
Sounds like old people fucking.
Nice. They normally have like a weird pattern on it.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, that's because I put that assembly grease around there so it doesn't stick to the crank, and it slung it out straight. There you go. He is a little guy, isn't he? Hey, little guy. How are you feeling? Just judging by physical characteristics alone, I would say this one's going to be way loose. Let's see what it is. What do you think?
Holy moly.
33 pounds, 7 ounces. Now, this has probably a quart of fluid left in it.
Nice.
Wow. That's considerable. This one you can like reach all the way around.
He's just a little guy.
He's just a little guy. Not even full growth. Extreme pressure lube. Exactly one tube. You ready, little guy? You ready?
Probably not.
Did either one of these two idiots tell you what they're going to put you through? No? Okay. But for those of you that don't know, here's the dump type situation here. So these are your cooler lines that go out to your transmission cooler. You have an in and an out. On this transmission, this would be like your out. It comes out here. This is a temperature or pressure transducer. It comes out here, goes over, this tees off and goes to the cooler. This goes back to the pan. It's actually the accumulator where the accumulator would bolt to, or like modulator on a 350 or something. But this goes back into here and goes back to the pan, and this solenoid is what does it. So when you activate the dump solenoid, which is this bad boy here, it will take the fluid that's coming out of the converter and just dump it right back into the pan and create a leak. And you can pulse the solenoid to kind of, you know, change the pressure in and out like a nitrous solenoid.
Nice.
Yeah.
So fancy.
So if this guy doesn't have his shit together and it's too tight, then we can still, we gain a lot of resolution back, hopefully. We'll see. Okay. Gonna try to cross member. I think I got everything else though. Drive shaft is in. Ooh, I got it really tight. Did you hear it, Lance? You hear it? Also, we changed the rear springs. Come this way. These are chrome, so
Yeah, they are.
we got that going for us. I figured the chrome would pick us up a little bit. Not really. Basically, in a I don't know. I probably change things too much sometimes, but the car did seem to react by going left a little bit. I went through and renutted, bolted everything, checked everything out. The Heims on these were kind of weird, so I put some Aurora Heims in there to try and make sure we don't have any slack there. But the springs were light in the back. They were like 110s. So if the springs are too light and the anti-roll bar is a little weak, it will drive left, it will roll over and leverage easier. So I put a 150-pound spring on it, hoping that will kind of straighten it back out and we don't have to put a bunch of, because I just don't like putting a bunch of, I only put on the anti-roll bars. And on these triangulated 4-link cars, there's really no good way to preload without using an anti-roll bar. So I'm hoping that using this, putting a little stiffer spring on it will keep it from rolling over to that side and driving left.
Other technical terms, right?
It's super technical.
In the race car dictionary, there's and
yeah, when you're, especially if you're preloading something, there's and then there's you don't want to have to. You just want one flat of. That's about all you want.
Yeah.
Just get it from neutral, get it to neutral, and then go. That's it.
That's
Tighten
about
it down.
Yeah. No more.
Oh yeah, these little guys here. Yeah, yeah. We didn't know. So that's one good thing about doing all the GoPros and all the crazy stuff is we just didn't even know about it. So we were just oblivious to it until we saw all the footage. Yeah, that's probably not a good idea. I mean, at least it's probably not going to hurt you in your quest of going down the road, but whoever's behind you, man. Water tank vent, fuel tank vent. So when you have a water tank or a fuel tank, normally your radiator has a vent up front out the cap, and when it gets to enough pressure, it blows shit everywhere, and that's why they want you to have an overflow. But in this deal, there's no radiator, it's just a water tank, and so it needs a vent because the temperature in that changes so much. It needs a way to vent out and in so you don't like suck the tank in or blow it up. So same thing on the fuel side. So those are just vents, but the problem is when I plumbed the vents, I probably should have went forward. I was so worried about it sloshing out. I probably should have went forward and then up and down to the vent, and then that way it wouldn't slosh out everywhere. But hindsight's 20/20. So, and we're not gonna fix it before tonight either.
No.
Because
We'll deal with it eventually.
Yeah, we're gonna go out and make another hit and see what this converter does, and then if the converter does okay, then we'll worry about fixing it. But for right now, nobody's gonna be behind us. It'll be all dry by the time we leave there, so it's not like it's a big problem. So we'll keep an eye on it.
For sure.
This one, because this one, stigmatism. Okay, let's put tranny fluid in it and load this mother up. Go out and make another slow crawling piece of crap hit, but maybe just a little faster than before.
That's nitrous guy stuff, yeah.
Well, nitrous got stuff until they turn the nitrous on.
It was turbo car. It would be fast as hell,
Are you being a smartass? I feel like you're being a smartass.
Never.
Okay. So I feel like we're doing this more often now, where I come on after the pass and try to tell you about how I feel like it's getting better. But man, this one, I mean, right? I haven't been that happy to spin the tires in a while. For a car that does such a good burnout, man, it would not spin a tire before. So tonight we decided, when we took it out, we were going to leave the same tune-up as before. We're going to get a, shit, my bad. Put your phone on silent. You'd think somebody who's done this shit as long as I have would understand that. We wanted a good comparison, same spot, same lane, all that stuff, same routine, just same tune-up with the other converter. The last pass with the other converter, we had both dumps open on the brake. We were pulsing the big dump, and then when she let off the brake, we opened the big dump and shut it all down, all that stuff. We were doing a bunch of crazy stuff to try and get it to leave at 5,000 RPM. So with this one, we're not going to use either of the dumps, but we're going to leave the same tune-up. Same 5,000 RPM, same timing, same everything, and just see what the difference is. Because what we'd like to have is this converter looser than the other converter, even with both dumps open. So this one, no dumps, still need it looser than that one with dumps. As you see from the pass, it needs power pulled out at this point. So if we'd have had the right converter the first time we took it out, that first tune-up that I put in it, where I took some timing out and launch retard and all that stuff, probably wouldn't have been that slow. So in my defense, not like you care, but it got us some good data. We now know that the converter was just too dang tight for this combo. Now that it's spinning the tires, it had a lot of wheel. I like wheel speed. Everybody knows I like wheel speed, but I even like wheel speed with a small tire car. But man, that was too much. I mean, just for reference here, my car with a 36-inch tire, I usually try and stay around 1,600-ish at a quarter, 2,200-ish at a half a second. That's drive shaft RPM after launch. So when I let go of the trans brake, quarter second is where I measure that, and then half a second I measure it. But my car is usually somewhere 1,500-1,600, and then on the street, and then 2,200-ish. Her car was 1,944 RPM at a quarter, and 2510 at a half. So actually, no, it was more than that. It was 2555 at a half. It definitely had the wheel speeds, but you notice it was going. Even though everybody says, small tires got to be dead hooked and, all this crap, and you watch the guys and they all leave and it goes, brrr, and it looks like Jackie's car did 2 weeks ago. And then they pour the coal stew out the back. If you'll notice, her car was faster spinning the tires than it was hooked. So there's something to that, is what I'm saying. But it lost the tire initially, and then on the 1-2 shift, it was spinning the tire when it got to the 1-2 shift, and then when it made the 1-2 shift, drive shaft RPM increased 1,000 RPM almost straight up. So that's what kicked the car fully sideways, and she had to correct and then abort the mission. So now is the time where there's really no sense in doing this. We can take power out of this thing and try and make it go fast on this road right here, right now, blah, blah, blah. But in order for Jackie to have what she needs to be able to drive the car, and me to know what I can do with the car in order to be able to tune the car for different surfaces. Yeah, we could tune it for this one, but we wouldn't have any idea what we're doing on other surfaces. The car needs to go to the track. She needs to know what the car feels like on a good pass, so that she knows what it's doing so she knows if it's on a bad pass. You know what I mean? Like, you don't know if, yeah, she corrected it, and yeah, she did a fine job, and she's a great driver and all that, but still yet, you don't want to put somebody in a situation where they've never been over 40 or 50 miles an hour in a car on the street, and then, you put them in there and try and tell them go 130 or 40 or even whatever. So the best bet is we need to take it to the racetrack, and we need to see how fast we can go with it, make sure, pull some plugs, look at some data, and basically just get a grip on this car now that we have a little bit better torque converter situation. So, and then we'll make an assessment, if, we'll go to a racetrack, we'll find a racetrack that's open, first of all, on a decent weather day, as soon as we can. And then we'll go to the track and we'll make an assessment. If we're definitely going to take a couple of nitrous bottles with us, and they'll be full just in case, but you never know. We may not get to there. If we make 2 or 3 passes and this thing's on a string and everything's looking great, and all the vitals on the motor look good and plugs and everything after the first couple passes, well, then we're probably going to turn some nitrous on. If the converter is still too tight, or if we're still battling stuff, or chassis moving around, or if we have any issue with the motor or tranny or anything like that, then we're just going to keep making passes till it's right. Because skipping steps right now, I'm telling you, I keep trying to talk to you guys about this, but I see so many people that I like, and so many people that are out there that I respect, and they finish these cars and they throw them on a trailer and head to some race somewhere, and then they're turning on 2 systems, or they're, it's a turbo car and they're leaving on and trying to race the fastest guys in the country and stuff. And skipping these steps right now is just going to cause major headaches down the line. Stuff that you're not going to be able to get back, because you're going to cause damage to things that you can't repair, that you can't, that you can't get back at that time, and so you'll have to take it out and fix it or whatever. Or even if you get lucky and you don't tear anything up, you're going to miss out on those chunks that you learn how to go fast with this car and this combo, because that's where it's going to matter. I'm telling you right now, everybody says turn 2 systems on. I get it. I know what you're saying, but I feel like right now I'm giving up so much on motor that I'm going to be losing on nitrous, if that makes sense. Whereas if I can turn on the nitrous after it's fast, then I won't have to spray near as much. Because on a small block with a 440 bore space and stock deck height and all that, like that compression height on that piston is, doesn't dictate a lot of reliability with 2 systems. Or, when I reach for the jet box for a small block, I go for the 50 and under jets. You know what I mean? And then eventually we may step up to something bigger, but, not right away. We need to figure this thing out. And as the weather gets warmer, this thing's only going to make less power. So if the converter's too tight now, it's going to be way too tight then. If it won't get out of its own way, then it's really not going to get out of its own way then. So, I hope that everybody understands that. I know that it's, this is probably boring to a lot of people because, it's small steps and the same thing over and over again, but this will all make sense. This is like an M. Night Shyamalan movie, where you don't understand, or Guy Ritchie, where you don't understand half of it until it's over, and then you're like, holy shit, he knew it the whole time. That's what this is going to be. So now we need to find us a racetrack, and Jackie's going to find us a track to go to with some decent weather, and we are going to make some Ruga noises at the racetrack. Hopefully somewhere where carbureted small blocks are appreciated. So stay tuned, because we're going to the racetrack, and maybe we get to see this car in the daylight. I don't know. That'd be cool. Well, bye.
Why are you so cute? Boop. She's a good girl.